George was shocked when a lion approached him from behind. He was in the savannah to take some pictures for his documentary. He saw that the lioness was not aggressive towards him, but looked like she needed help. He followed her and couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the lion in the distance. He looked very strange. His belly was completely swollen. George immediately called the local vet, who was equally surprised as she had never seen anything like this before. When she had an ultrasound, she immediately called the police. The vet called the police, who came right away. This lion was in a precarious situation and needed special help from more than just a vet. This lion needed surgery as there was something strange going on in its stomach. When the police finally arrived, they helped the vet sedate the now nearly lifeless giant lion. The police talked with the ranger. "Sir, we need you to come with us. It's important." George was shocked. What did he do wrong? George answered questions about him and the lion. He has been a ranger for several years. It hasn't been easy lately. Many poachers and other shadowy figures have been seen in the sanctuary. It's been a difficult process for George and the other guards to keep all the animals safe due to the lack of manpower and the constant danger of the savannah. Management wasn't helping, and many poachers took advantage of this situation. When George went on his usual routine one day, he saw something huge in the distance. At first, he thought he was just overwhelmed and seeing things. But as he approached, his mouth dropped open. He didn't want to approach the lion so as not to startle him, but there was something very wrong. It was a big lion, the alpha, and George recognized it. But it looked helpless and its belly was swollen. George was a little scared, but he began to approach the lion. He had to find out what was going on and asked for reinforcements from other rangers. His superior agreed that they had to protect the animal. They had to act fast. More rangers arrived, and George had no idea how the animal would react. Lions are proud animals, but when he turned to George, his heart sank for a minute. The other rangers warned that the animal could attack George in self-defense and decided to call a veterinarian. The vet asked the rangers to sedate the animal and leave the area immediately or he will attack them. Luck was on the rangers' side. The lion was sedated very quickly and didn't seem to fight George, who decided to do it. Perhaps the lion wanted to be helped, as he didn't show any signs of resistance. Now the guards could see the lion's bump. George called the vet back to report his discovery. The rangers are curious about what to do next, but the vet's tone immediately changed after hearing where the bulge was. The bulge was located at the beginning of the stomach, meaning something was likely unable to enter the lion's stomach. But what could be inside that lion? The lion swallowed something it shouldn't have and likely needed immediate surgery to survive. Time was precious, but the guards didn't know what to do. They asked if they could bring the lion to her. But for the vet, getting to the ranger's location was a challenge, as she didn't know the exact location. Plus, it was a rush hour too, and she was stuck in traffic. Thankfully, there were people at the ranger's headquarters who knew exactly where the rangers were and how to get there. So the vet decided to visit the headquarters. When he learned the severity of the situation, a manager offered to use their off-road Jeep to cross the savannah. The trip lasted about 3 hours in total. This caused the vet to wonder if spending all that time and being unavailable for other animals on the lion was worth it. The rangers worried that the vet was taking too long and the lion could wake up. Their fear became a reality as the animal awoke and tried to move. Some rangers just wanted to let him go so they could go home. Others took the vet's words to heart and knew that if they released the lion, he would surely die. Fortunately for the lion and the vet, this group was the majority. They had to wait for the vet. They couldn't encase the lion completely, so they had to keep moving to keep blocking the lion's path. The animal was getting irritated by this, and the guards had to be careful. The guards began to worry if this was the right thing to do. A lion that size, even in its condition, could easily kill one of them if it caught them. The rangers knew they had to trust each other. It became a team effort. When the vet finally arrived on the scene, the lion was still lying in the same spot where the guards kept him. But it became increasingly obvious that this would not be the case for long, as the lion had become aggressive. The guards didn't even want to remove the jeeps they had placed there to hold the lion in place, but the lion charged at the guards who were still in their jeeps. This increased the fear of the lion. Some rangers drove their jeeps away from the lion as they didn't want to get hurt. The vet had to act quickly and knew the only chance here was if she could quickly sedate the lion. But sedating the lion was not without its risks. The vet had feared the sedative would be fatal to the lion going by the condition the rangers described, but the actions of the lion toward the rangers gave the doctor the confidence that he would survive the injection. The only thing left was to approach the lion with the tranquilizers. The vet waited for the lion to turn its head in the other direction. After that, she slowly approached the lion and quickly injected the sedative into the lion's lower body. Now they had to wait until the lion was fully sedated. Over the next few minutes, it slowed down more, and the vet was able to inject a few more sedatives that were needed for a lion this size. Soon, the lion was completely out. A few rangers dropped to their knees from exhaustion, and their heartbeats finally returned to normal. They had faced the possibility of death and were relieved to have survived. The vet can quickly confirm his suspicions that the object was stuck at the entrance to the lion's stomach by feeling his body. The object trapped in his body was something the lion had swallowed and could not be broken down by the digestive system. She decided to do an ultrasound on the bulge. Upon looking at the ultrasound, she immediately called the police, who were already in the area, to help with the surgery. She had suspicions of strange activities. The vet could only do one thing. Surgery was needed to take the object out. But surgery always carries a risk, especially if this surgery has to be done in the middle of the savannah. But there was no other option available. With the utmost precision and care, the vet opens the lion along with the bulge. The origin of the bulge is finally revealed to everyone, but it's not what they expected it to be. It was a piece of meat that was not digested properly. Inside the meat was something more suspicious that baffled the vet. George had to answer some questions first, then he heard disbelief from the operating room. "I can't believe this," the vet said. But what did the vet find inside the lion that surprised her so much? This was the reason why George had to respond to the police. Something was glowing inside the piece of meat. There was a small microchip embedded in it, and George told the officers he had a feeling of what it could be. He began to explain his past encounter with some obscure figures recently here in the area. George had recently captured some poachers. They had some device with them which he confiscated. He quickly ran to his truck and handed the device to the police. An officer immediately recognized the device. They had caught someone else with almost the same one recently. This device could be used to track the microchip, so hunters could easily locate the lion without alerting the guards. This was an advanced tactic that ensured the meat could not be digested by the lion, so it got stuck. With the chip removed, the vet quickly began sewing the lion up. As she does this, she assures George that there was nothing else wrong with the lion. He appeared to be healthy, and she predicted he'd be back in shape in no time. It took a few minutes for the lion to wake up. He was still stunned and confused, but after a while he started to move much faster than before the surgery. After the lion left the savannah, the vet had one thing she needed to do. She thanked the guards for their incredible effort to keep the lion and themselves safe. After that, she returned to the city where she had more patients waiting for her. To make sure the lion was okay, she did one last thing. She asked George to keep her informed on the lion's movements. He would keep an eye on the lion for her. The police made sure the poachers responsible were caught. The entire organization was arrested, and the animals were safe again.